How unrest in Mexico is affecting some students' spring break plans.
And a program that's preparing a new wave of educators.
Welcome back to TVC News. I'm Caitlin Kirkpatrick.
And I'm Luke Lamery. This morning we come to you with breaking news statewide. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation issued a blue alert very early this morning. 40-year-old Donnell Maxwell is wanted by TBI and the Memphis Police Department. Maxwell is accused with attempted first-degree murder of a Memphis police officer.
Maxwell was last seen wearing an orange and green reflective vest and dark clothing. He's considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information, you can call TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. Good to know for anyone traveling to Middle and West Tennessee this weekend. More breaking news coming out today that will be impacting you on campus.
But first, there's a new initiative from UT's Department of Parking and Transportation in partnership with Uber and a new AI hub coming to campus. Let's start with Uber. Up to 2,000 students who will register will receive up to 10 individual $10 vouchers that can be applied for trips originating within Knox County or to and from McGee-Tyson Airport. Eligible students must be enrolled as a first-year undergraduate student, live in an on-campus residence hall, and have not purchased a parking permit yet.
Earlier this morning, the Office of Provost announced that in late March, the UT AI Hub will launch. It will serve as a comprehensive platform to provide full versions of the 4 leading large language models, ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity, and Claude. All tools will be available to faculty, staff, and students. The university encourages you to explore these resources and discover how they can support your academic and professional goals. Well, if you haven't heard yet, there was a big news that came out of Knox County Court last Friday stating that Joey Aguilar was denied an additional year of eligibility and will more than likely not be a Tennessee volunteer in 2026.
Caitlin, you're absolutely right. The only way that Joey can fight this decision would be to file for an appeal, which according to Brian Crum, who's a professor here in the Winston College of Law at UT, could take up to 4 months for the whole process to play out. And that's even if the appeal were to be taken to a higher court. We got some thoughts from Tennessee sophomore student Xander Kashubi on how he thought the case went for Joey.
Yeah, I thought there would be kind of some grace considering other things that have been happening in the NCAA right now. I mean, considering Chambliss down in Mississippi got another year. Even with other sports, that basketball player in Alabama that played semi-professional basketball, he got another year. So I figured Joey would have gotten another year.
For this case and for Joey, but for the time being, it looks like the Vols will have a new signal caller leading the charge this fall.
I guess that means it's time for George McIntyre and Faison Brandon to start duking out for that starting job, Caitlin.
Yeah, and I'm sure both of those guys will be ready to go come game time on September 5th against Furman and for the spring game coming up.
Exactly right. Yesterday morning, it was announced the former East Tennessee Children's Hospital will be renamed into Dolly Parton Children's Hospital.
For 9 decades, the hospital has been providing care of all kinds of children across Tennessee. The hospital's CEO, Matt Schaefer, says the name change represents a generational commitment to accelerate the hospital's mission.
And what I would want families to know is that we're no different today than we were yesterday in terms of what they can count on with us. But we also now have a promise of continuing to up our game to do the best we can for the children of East Tennessee and beyond.
While you won't immediately see the rebrand at the hospital, Schaefer says it will appear within the next couple of months, and they want to do it in a very thoughtful way.
Spring break is right around the corner, but this year there are some travel advisories.
That's right. Maggie Schwerking for TVC has the story.
We booked this trip back in October, obviously not thinking that anything was going to happen a week before we left, but now there's a bunch of political uprising and just kind of sketchy.
For many students, the countdown to spring break is on. But when traveling to places like Mexico, you should really look into the potential dangers before the time runs out.
For any person who's traveling during spring break, a risk assessment should be done based on data and rational assessment rather than emotion. We can go to the State Department website and look at the most recent information, and different parts of Mexico have different levels of risk.
Our travel agent sent us some information this morning basically saying that where we're going, which is Cancun, is technically safe. There hasn't been a travel issue released saying that we can't go. It's probably going to change, honestly, like it's day-to-day decisions. It is 4 hours away from where all of this is going down right now, which is technically pretty far, but also I feel like Mexico is pretty relative, and it's not far enough for me to feel safe.
But for Haley Callahan, who's also going on the trip, has a different way of thinking about it.
The thought of being out all that money is kind of hard to swallow.
I just don't think it's worth the risk to go.
Whether you are going on spring break or not this year, check your resources and stay safe. In Knoxville for TVC News, I'm Maggie Shorking.
Well, for you and me, Kaylin, I guess it was a good idea to stay inside the country this year. I'll be in Orlando, which should be fun.
Yeah, I'm visiting some family homes, so it would be very nice. Make sure you guys stay safe. Make sure you look at travel.state.gov to stay up to date with safety for where you are going this year.
Have you seen the people who wear bright green clothing walking on the Strip? Well, you're about to find out who they are and what exactly they do. Certainly an interesting story.
Yeah.
Here's TVC reporter Kaylee Smith with more.
Have you heard of the Block by Block ambassadors? Ambassadors cover downtown Knoxville and surrounding areas, as well as Cumberland Avenue.
We end up talking to a lot more students down there, and a lot of those students don't even know that we're there.
Block by Block ambassador Michael Arden helps keep the city of Knoxville in excellent shape. His primary focus being
to talk to businesses, to talk to the people that are out there, and to be as hospitable and welcoming as possible,
while also making sure
everybody down there is safe and that there's no hazards or anything like that.
Ambassadors are equipped with various cleaning tools, Narcan, water, and first aid kits.
Block by Block ambassadors wear bright green attire, which make them easy to spot.
Our ambassadors are out there greeting our visitors. They're getting to know the unhoused and assisting them with services. They're also just out there providing friendly faces.
President of Visit Knoxville, Kim Bumpus, says her
number one primary concern is the visitors that come here and how they receive their visit to Knoxville.
The program was created to
Apologize for those technical difficulties. Block by Block ambassadors are on campus Sunday through Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., as well as Wednesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 11:30 p.m.
As tariffs on certain goods rise, many college students could be feeling the impact, even if they don't realize it. Grocery prices are among the items impacted. Our Dawson Durrett explains how tariffs could hit close to home.
That is right. I am standing here at the Baker School. I was able to talk to an economics professor. He gave me insight into how much these price fluctuations can really add up. Take a look.
From produce to pantry staples, grocery prices are already top of mind for many college students. Economics expert James Lake says tariffs are designed to protect domestic industries, but they can also raise prices in the short term.
Tariffs are literally a tax on imports. And so, like all taxes, it increases the price of goods we pay.
That includes food products like coffee, meats, and fruits, items many students buy every week. Lakin Vaughn says even small price increases make a difference.
I pay for everything on my own, like including groceries, whatever it is, I always pay for on my own. I've been paying for it since I was 18 years old.
For many college students, coffee is a daily essential. Now, if tariffs increase the cost on imported goods, such as coffee, that morning routine could become more expensive.
Just because, I drink coffee every single day, and I always try to go for the cheaper option.
For students balancing tuition, rent, and food, even a few extra dollars each week can add up quickly.
In terms of responsible shopping, being sort of aware of where things are produced, how they're produced, and if you value that, then being prepared to pay a higher price for it.
For now, the best thing college students can do is shop responsibly, prioritize necessities, and stay informed as economic policies continue to shift. In Knoxville, Dawson Durrett, TVC News.
As college students, it is very important to stay economically informed, as these tariffs might impact more than you realize. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Dawson.
Now, a new teaching initiative at UT allows students with a bachelor's degree an opportunity to get a teaching certification for free.
It's a partnership between UT and Knox County Schools. The Teach Knox Fellows program is designed to boost special education workforce in our community.
The impact of what a teacher does is just really awesome.
Opportunity for an affordable, accessible, and vital support system is what the Associate Dean and Director of Bailey Graduate School, David Chiak, believes the program will provide.
You know, our first gens who may not be able to quit their job and, you know, pursue aspiring teacher. You know, this is a pathway now for them.
The initiative will prepare and support the development of 30 special education teachers each year with zero cost to the students in the program.
We can make sure that year over year we're recruiting and retaining and developing great special education teachers who especially have a heart for inclusive education at the mission for why they want to do this work.
Alex Mosman, the Executive Director of Talent Acquisition of Knox County Schools, believes this program will benefit the future of Knoxville as a whole.
Special education is important because we want to make sure that we're removing any barriers that a student might have to reach their full potential.
Those who aspire to become a teacher, you know, we can really start reflecting the communities that are out there.
You do need at minimum a bachelor's degree to be eligible for this program and again have an interest in going into special education. Applications are open now until March 1st.
And that application will be available on our Instagram. You can head over there now at TVC News Now.
As Black History Month comes to a close, student leaders on Vol teams say growing representation is helping shape the volunteer experience. Our Andrea Peebles has more.
For many prospective athletes and families, Vol team members are among the first faces they meet on Rocky Top. Now, Black student leaders within the organization say their presence is making a meaningful impact.
Representation is important. Representation matters. You know, 9 times out of 10, you're coming to a PWI. There's not too many people that look like you outside of your athletic program. So having a host or having someone who's recruiting you who can like relate to your experiences in that sense is really important.
On Vol team, representation is now becoming part of the recruiting experience and helping prospective students feel welcomed during their campus visits.
On a campus where not every space feels familiar, Vol team members say sometimes all it takes is that one connection to make Tennessee feel like home.
From a football standpoint, I mean, athletes come from so many different backgrounds. There's so many different personalities, and it's important that we pair them with the correct personality or like the correct background, because then they'll have a better experience.
For Vol team members, it's about intentional connection. That intentional pairing could shape how recruits view campus before they ever sign. As Vol team continues to grow in diversity, student leaders say their goal is simply making sure every visitor feels like they belong here on Rocky Top. As the organization look ahead, members say representation will continue to shape the future of the volunteer experience. Reporting in Knoxville, Drea Peebles, TVC News.
The Vols have a massive matchup against Alabama tomorrow. We'll be bringing you the keys to the game after the break.
And Tennessee baseball dropped its first weekend series of the year. We'll break down how it happened when we come back.
Hey Vol fans, we're so excited to be on the air to give you exclusive University of Tennessee content. But the coverage doesn't end with TVC News here on air. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at TVC News Now by scanning the QR code. You'll gain access to 24-hour news coverage of UT sports, news, and other related content, all made by students. No one knows UT like we do, and thank you for your support.
We are back to TVC News. Welcome back. Officially, it is the busiest time of the year for Tennessee athletics.
That's right, Galen. And to get us all caught up, let's send it over to Jeremy and Lauren for this week's Rocky Top Sports Report.
Thank you, guys. Good afternoon, ladies and gents, and welcome to the Rocky Top Sports Report. We have a lot to cover today, so Lauren, let's get right into it.
Tennessee basketball looked as if they had figured some things out after going on a 4-game win streak, including a win over in-state rival number 19 Vanderbilt. Jacoby Gillespie led the Vols scoring attack Saturday with 17 points and also snatched 3 steals on the defense. True freshman Nate Ament scored 13 points and grabbed 9 boards. Ament was also awarded his 6th SEC Freshman of the Week honor after last week's effort. Riding that 4-game win streak, the Vols traveled to Missouri to take on the Tigers, and the Vols lost their touch from beyond the arc, shooting 7 of 24 from the 3. However, the biggest problem Tuesday night was that the second half defense. Missouri scored 47 points in the second half, leading them to a 73-69 win over the Vols.
Now, Lauren, there's not a whole lot of time for the Vols to dwell on that loss against Missouri because 17th ranked Alabama is rolling into town this weekend, looking to get some revenge against the Vols. And for more on the top 25 matchup, Sophie Starkey is standing right outside the Thompson-Boyne Arena with the keys to Saturday's game. Sophie?
Thanks, guys. The Vols are set to face Alabama for the second time this season. And the first time these two teams faced off, Tennessee was playing some of its best basketball. Nate Ament having a career high of 29 points, the Vols coming back from a 10-point deficit to win the road match 79-73. Now this time Alabama will be without their G League transfer in Charles Bediako, since his eligibility has been revoked since the last time these two teams met up. So that's one less challenge for Tennessee to figure out. But that being said, they do have a lot to work out after their consistent second half struggles, like in Tuesday night's game against Missouri. Coming up on their final 3 games of the regular season, they have earned a crucial spot to get those wins. Hopefully Coach Barnes and the team can get it done. Now, off the court, Tennessee's Spirit Squad had an amazing opportunity to create a once-in-a-lifetime experience for a young girl named Taylor Lunn. I got the opportunity to cover her dream weekend with Tennessee Athletics.
13-year-old Taylor from Farragut, a 2-time leukemia survivor, got a celebration she'll never forget as she lived out her dream weekend with Tennessee Athletics. She says it all started with a simple request from her dad, hinting something big was coming.
My dad was telling me how I need to get my nails done Tennessee themed, and that's how I figured it out. I was just like so happy, I can't even describe it.
The weekend was months in the making with Dream on 3, the University of Tennessee's collegiate dream team. And for Captain Sophia Hickey, pulling off the surprise made it even sweeter.
So we surprised her at the cheer practice with the entire cheer squad, which was unbelievable. And her school's football team came and cheered her on. And then this past Friday, we got to go to her middle school, surprise her in art class, and we had Rocky Top blasting through the hallways, and it was just really sweet surprising her and seeing the look on her face.
From a $500 shopping spree to cheering alongside Tennessee's Spirit Squad, the highlights kept coming, including a surprise meeting with Bishop Boswell that left Taylor speechless.
Hi!
Hello, how are you?
Oh my goodness!
How are you? Are we doing an interview?
Yeah!
I can get you an autograph when you're done, all right?
Okay,
all right, sounds
thank
good.
you.
I don't want to crash.
Oh my gosh!
For Taylor, it was a weekend full of orange and joy, years in the making.
Taylor hopes to come to the University of Tennessee one day on the Spirit Squad herself. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Sophie.
We are just about to reach the month of March, and that means it's time for teams to start playing their best basketball of the year. Now, the men, they have showed some promise as of late, but on the other hand, the Tennessee Lady Volunteers have been struggling. After a 100-93 loss to Oklahoma earlier this week, the Lady Vols traveled to Baton Rouge last night to take on LSU, looking to end their 4-game losing streak. After a competitive first half, the Tigers showed why they are ranked number 6 in the nation in the second, and the Lady Vols found themselves on the losing end of yet another SEC battle. LSU takes this one 89-73. Now, the last game of the regular season for the Lady Vols will take place right here in Knoxville, Sunday afternoon against Vanderbilt. The Commodores sit at number 5 in the national rankings, meaning that for the 7th time this season, the Lady Vols will face off against a top 10 team.
Now over to the Diamond, Tennessee baseball is set to take on the number 1 team in the nation tonight, the UCLA Bruins. In order to win, the Vols will need a better performance than they had this past weekend against Kent State. Friday night, it took the Vols until the bottom of the 9th to send the Golden Flashes home. Walter State transfer Tyler Myatt got a hold of a fastball and sent it over the batter's eye in center to give the Vols a 4-3 win. However, the Bats went quiet in Game 2 and errors proved costly in Game 3, resulting in the first series loss of the season for the Vols. Luckily, the Bats returned Tuesday night as the Vols beat Bellarmine 8-3. The Vols will need that momentum at the plate to carry over to today if they want to upset the Bruins. First pitch is scheduled to be thrown in about 15 minutes.
Now, speaking of #1 ranked teams, Tennessee softball is still at the top of the NCAA rankings. They added 4 more wins to their impressive start to the season at the UAB tournament. And in those 4 games, get this, they outscored their opponents 37-1. And the pitching staff continues to dominate their opponents. Now, we already know about the dynamic duo of Carlin Pickens and Aaron Newer, but over the weekend, we may have discovered that this is a 3-headed monster instead. Junior Sage Marjetko had herself a weekend as she threw a complete game shutout Friday, and then 2 days later became the second Lady Vol this year to throw a no-hitter. Junior outfielder Sophia Knight was dynamic from the plate as she went from 11 for 13 at the dish and scored 7 runs over the weekend. And her performance earned her the honor of being named this week's SEC Player of the Week. And the Lady Vols will play their home opener this weekend as they host the Tennessee Invitational.
And with that, we have reached the end of this week's Rocky Top Sports Report.
And good luck to all of Tennessee athletics this weekend, and we'll be right back here next week to break it all down. Until then, back to Caitlin and Luke at the desk.
Thanks so much, guys.
Well, it's just been over a week since Knoxville sports journalist Wes Rucker passed away, and his death has made an impact on the entire community, including Tennessee students and alumni who worked with him.
I talked to a few of them who have especially felt the loss of Wes Rucker.
You're on fire, Wes. You're on fire.
Wes Rucker's presence covering Tennessee athletics was felt just by being himself.
You just knew who Wes was because of the way he would talk, the way he was unafraid to speak. Oftentimes you didn't know if he was talking to you or not.
And his legacy still lives on, Daily Beacon sports editor Trevor McGee says, by a guidebook where he left breadcrumbs of his personality, even 20-plus years later.
Do not use ever under penalty of death and dismemberment. That is exactly the kind of guy he was.
The same trail WBIR digital journalist Shelby Wright says he's left on her and the entire Channel 10 newsroom.
It's been quieter, but also people have, I think it's just one of those really unfortunate things that brings people together.
And even though work was a mainstay for Wes, family was everything. And if you talked to him for more than a few minutes, you were likely going to hear about them.
The way he talked about his family so much is very idolizing because it is such a time-demanding industry.
And while Wes was a master at keeping balance between work and family life, journalists say there was often a reason he would stay at work late. And it's not because he was behind on stories, because if Wes came home from work too early, his son Hank wasn't going to sleep. He was going to stay awake and play with his dad.
The only reason he stayed late Tuesday night at baseball is because he was saying that his wife wouldn't let him come home because his kid wouldn't go to bed if he did.
And sometimes he would purposely stay at work extra late so Hank could be put to bed. And so he wouldn't fire him up when he got home and wreak havoc on the household.
A husband and father first, journalist second. Rest in peace, Wes Rucker. Rucker was 43 years old, and our thoughts and prayers have been and always will be with the Rucker family. If you want to support them in this hard time, you can scan the QR code to donate to the GoFundMe.
Another way to support Alumni Hall has pressed shirts you can buy to memorialize Wes, with all the proceeds going to his family. And how the athletic department is winning off the field.
Hey Vol fans, we're so excited to be on the air to give you exclusive University of Tennessee content. But the coverage doesn't end with TVC News here on air. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at TVC News Now by scanning the QR code. You'll gain access to 24-hour news coverage of UT sports, news, and other related content, all made by students. No one knows UT like we do, and thank you for your support.
Welcome back, Vols. We have a beautiful weekend ahead of us. As you see right now, Knoxville is 56 degrees, but look at Danridge, 51, a bit chilly. But our high for today is 63 with a low in 39. So if you're out on the strip, make sure you carry a jacket with you to make sure you are not too cold. But Saturday and Sunday do not disappoint with highs in the high 60s and the low 40s. But the National Weather Service is issuing a cold front to come through and bring us rain. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Robert. Hopefully the weather holds very nice for this weekend. It's looking good.
Well, Vaulthon took place last Saturday, and students here at UT danced it out for 12 hours to raise money for the now Dolly Parton Children's Hospital. Molly Polkawalt has the story for us.
Vaulthon is an event to raise money for children's hospitals all across the country. But when you add Vol in front of it,
there are probably not enough words to describe how important this day is.
For Sarah Smith,
I got involved with Vaulthon because in June of 2009, I was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
It's personal.
I was able to attend Vaulthon as a miracle kid.
Sarah battled cancer for 2.5 years and can relate back to the miracle kids.
Because I understand what they're going through and how much East Tennessee Children's Hospital means to them.
And her friends getting to see the impact firsthand.
Just getting to hear more about her personal experience at Etch and how she was treated there and how our money really makes an impact, and having someone to personally connect with has been really special.
But so many kids at East Tennessee Children's Hospital feel the impact of Vaulthon.
I just love seeing the smile on their faces, like when just being like the center of attention and like being able to just actually enjoy a day and not have to think about like what they're going through.
And Vaulthon isn't just one day.
I think it's really important to note that Dance Marathon is a year-round thing, and although our main event, our main dance marathon is today, our impact goes all year round.
There are so many ways to get involved with Vaulthon, and I highly recommend you do so because it genuinely will change your life.
The nearly $316,000 raised will be put towards a new wing in the Children's Hospital and impact kids for years to come. This is Molly Polkawalt, TVC News.
To get involved, you can apply for leadership positions and find donation pages that are now available on the Vaulthon Instagram. A reveal that broke the internet back in 2024 is now officially award-winning. The Tennessee football creative team brought home an Emmy for their 2024 Dark Mode reveal, winning the sports promotion category at the 40th annual Mid-South Regional Emmy Award ceremony.
Exactly right. The video's creator, Noah Halford, says the honor came as a surprise, especially since the team had just 2 days to shoot and edit the project.
Well, I didn't know it was going to go crazy like it did. But it was received well by fans and people all across the country, and then obviously by the Emmys. And yeah, it was. I did not expect any of this.
Well, we'll have the full story behind the Emmy-winning reveal and an inside look at Noah's whirlwind 2-day production coming your way next week.
Well, that's all the TVC News for this week. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at TVC News Now for live updates.
And as always,
go Vols!